evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. As our hosts have said, we are honored to have here with us the head abbess of Humanistic Philippines, Venerable Miao Jing. Happy New Year, Shifu.
Omitofo, Happy New Year to Professor Garcia and our listener this evening.
Yes. I'd like to ask Shifu, what does Humanistic mean, and where did the term originate?
Humanistic is the phonics name of Fo Guang San in Chinese, and literally it means Buddhas like mountain. What Buddhas? Buddha is a very general term back in the olden language of India, Sanskrit. So it means enlightened one. So it really means then is the enlightening light, and most of the monastery traditionally was built in the mountain, and so Fobang's mountain, enlightening mountains of light. So what we were saying that the Buddha is actually part of the triple gems, and so triple gems is supposed to shine upon everyone, and as a guide, the light is as a guide to lead us out of, to liberate us out of the oceans of darkness, of birth and death.
All right, but I understand that Buddhism has different traditions, right? Like the Theravada or the Mahayana. So Humanistic is from the Mahayana?
It is the Mahayanist group that we belongs to, or the northern traditions, as what was described more so now in this time. As you said, the Theravada was the southern traditions that spread. So Buddhism was found in India, or now in Nepal. So Buddhism spreads from India to Burma, Thailand, Indonesia, and to sometimes recorded it was also spread to southern Philippines. And so that was this path was considered the southern traditions, which is also traditionally following the Buddha's ways of teaching and holding the precepts. Then the northern traditions spreads from India to Central Asia, to Tibet and China, Korea, Japan. So that was the northern traditions, and what we usually refer to as the Mahayanist traditions. The Mahayana Buddhism emphasized more on the practice of bodhisattvahood, or bodhisattva enlightening. So which means helping self and others, enlightening self and others.
As opposed to Arhat.
Yes. So it's the different ways of practice for one, and then the different ways of attainment.
Alright, so would you say that the Arhat, as opposed to the Bodhisattva, would be trying to gain enlightenment on his own, rather than trying to help others?
The Mahayanists, as we refer to as the Bodhisattvahood, so these are four characters of the Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva again is the Sanskrit words meaning enlightening sentient beings, so benefiting self and others at the same time, as we continue to practice the 6 parameters, which is generosity in helping others and holding precepts, being in tolerance to other people, being very diligent in what we practice, then meditations, and in order to attain the great wisdoms.
Alright. I imagine before that there are temples all over the world. How many FGS temples are there right now?
We would count to around 300 temples across the 5 continents. So say for example, in the States, which is Silai Temple in LA, then we have a Nanhua Temple in South Africa, a Lulai Temple in Brazil, and in Asia we have Humanistic Kaohsiung, Taiwan, and of course in Australia we have Nantian Temple in Wollongong, closer to Sydney. We are building our monastery temple or our ancestor temple, which means the temple that Venerable Master, the founder of Fogangshan monastic order, was renounced. So we are all building our monastery temple. It is in Yixing, Yixinga in China.
But how many temples are there in the Philippines?
Here we have 4. So Manila is the main center, and of course we have other temple in Bacolod, Cebu, and Iloilo.
I see. How is because sometimes I hear that Fogangshan FGS is also called IBPS. How different is it from FGS?
IBPS in long is an abbreviation of International Buddhist Progress Society. So that was a group or our temples that promote internationalizations of Fogangshan. Fogangshan was the monastic name, monastery name that we use when Venerable Master first established Fogangshan monastery in Kaohsiung. So later on, when we go internationals, so that was registered under our overseas monastery with Silai Temple, or that's where we would base IBPS.
So it's International Buddhist
Progress Society. And so here in Manila, we usually refer ourselves to as Fogangshan Mabuhay Temple, but it is also been known as International Buddhist Progress Society of Manila.
I see. Well, what about the Buddhist Light International Association? What is it?
Venerable Master Simin, he followed the teachings of the Buddha, which is in promotions of the concept of equality. So equality not just between male and female, but also between monastic and the lay people, the devotees. And so BLIA was a group, Buddha's Light International Associations, was found 20 years ago, and that was also his concept of in propagations of Buddhism in the likes of equal between monastic and also lay people. So it's a group found and formed to promote the involvement of lay people in the propagations of Buddhism. So say for example, we have the Dharma Teachers program. For a long time, traditionally, Dharma propagations is usually being held in the main shrine of the temple by a monastic, usually the master. But now we have seen that there are a lot of Dharma teachers which are giving talks around the world right now. And here at Mabuhay Temple, we have regular lecture talks that involve both monastic and Dharma teachers.
And then of course you have the Youth Advocate Division, which is also under BLIA.
Yes. So the young adults, Venerable Master has always said that if we look at the Buddha statues or the Bodhisattva statues, we do not find mustache in them, which means that all our Buddha and Bodhisattva are always young, if not in appearance, but young in heart. And so the young adults, he care a lot about our young people, and so he especially give a lot of young people a different opportunity and a performing stage so that we get to explore our talents and also what we refer to as our Buddha nature.
Yes, it seems that Venerable Master Xing Yun is a very progressive thinker. Could you tell us more about him, how he founded Fogangshan, his life?
Venerable Master renounced at age 12. 12 in China. He said that when he met his master, who is also our grandmaster, Zikai Sangren. he make a promise because Zikaisan asked, do you want to be renounced? He said yes at the spot. And so he went home, even though mother of Venerable Master could not let go of him at the time. But he responds that I have made my promise, so I have to keep it. And so that's when she have a second thought, if she is going to grow, because it was during wartime back then. So and they are from a family with low income. So mother responds that I couldn't really grow him, educate him, and feed him. I should send him to monastery where he can get his educations and where he can get a shelter for himself. So that's when Venerable Master followed and renounced at a very young age. At age 23, he moved to Taiwan as he formed the monastic medical relief team. Then for 60 years that he has been propagating Dharma in Taiwan, and for the last 20 years we grow internationally. And so what we promote is Humanistic Buddhism, to bring back the teachings of the Buddha, the original intentions, what the Buddhas have taught, and apply it in our everyday doing. Because Buddhism, for a long time, it was taught that, well, it must be books keeping on the shelf. A lot of people could not relate to it because of whether it's ancient language or too conservative practice. But Humanistic Buddhism is about what the Buddha have taught, following the Buddha's way, and what people want. So what people want include those that with a sincere mind, with kindness, and with the beauty of life.
I see. So you're saying that Humanistic Buddhism is still within the Mahayanist tradition, yes? Except that it is closer to how the lay people would live their lives. So would you say that it's more open to lay practice than the other traditions in Buddhism?
We would say that it's more modern practice. So
Okay,
say,
modern,
for example, or more adaptable to 21st
Times.
century, yes, to time, to the era, or to this time. As Buddhism spreads from India to China, it has been 2,500 years now. And so if we were to divide that into different periods, we would say the first sections was translations, propagations of like monks from Central Asians or India. Then there is this translation period where the sutra was translated into Chinese, and then there is this flourish during the Tang Dynasty, and then later on the literal period of the Song Dynasty. Then later on it became the modern Buddhism, where the monk and the monastery would just